Hello, it's the new Flesh, new computer, still learning things. I intend to put out more content. We'll see if that happens. Who the fuck cares? Who are you? Shadow Warrior 2013, 2013. I feel like you gotta add that extra bit because they called the game the same name as the game that already came out, and it's a reboot. And original Shadow Warrior came out for MS-DOS and Mac OS in 1997. Same engine as Duke Nukem 3D. Lo Wang, the player character, is kind of like an Asian Duke Nukem. He's an over-the-top action hero who, for some reason, is just really proficient in firearms. He'll be spouting one-liners, jokes, puns, and borderline racism throughout the entire game. Unlike Duke Nukem, he's got some katana skills, and they put a bit of emphasis and encouragement on katana use, melee combat. I'm absolutely abysmal at the original Shadow Warrior. I need to play that crap on easy. I need to quick save everywhere. No skills. You're looking at footage of Shadow Warrior Redux. It's a re-release. It's a modernized, remastered. It's made to play nice with modern operating systems. It's got support for wider resolutions and all that nice stuff. There's a direct DOS box port of the original. If you want to live like it's 1997, it's free on Steam. Go get it. Classic Redux costs money, includes Classic Redux, as of making this video, is on sale for 90% off. You could probably expect a similar price on future Steam sales. Worth it. If you're interested in it, just get the upgraded version. The bundled DOS box that runs Classic included with Classic Redux is not working on my new Windows 10 PC. Let's blame Windows 10. Haha! Alright, I'd love to show you some footage. Sorry about that. Picture this with a much lower resolution, probably 4:3 aspect ratio, and uglier user interface. Okay, good. Here we go. Back to 2013. A few things you should notice here. It's going to be a little different than if you were to play the prologue right now. Using a Saints Row reference sword changes the katana for the entire game into a giant purple dildo. Another thing, this game has an X mode, EX mode, and it's basically New Game Plus. Being a modern shooter, there's a bunch of upgrades and weapons and powers and abilities that carry over into the New Game Plus and then make some very demanding achievements actually possible, like getting all the upgrades seems like an impossibility on one playthrough. Prioritizing a melee weapon in a first-person shooter always puts you at risk as you need to close the gap to do damage. You gotta get up close. This game has some dodge mechanics. By using the sprint in any direction, you can dodge. Probably will not see me intentionally dodging in any of this footage. As you upgrade your player character and the katana weapon, you actually get healed for doing sword damage. You can optionally add burn damage to your sword attacks. As you make it through your first playthrough, the sword gets stronger and stronger, and more desirable to use and more enjoyable to use. The weapons feel good, but halfway through the game it becomes obvious what the star of the show is. You could very well choose not to use it once, but I recommend that you do. So this is the prologue of the game. This is the very beginning. It is before Chapter 1. That's what prologue means. We're supposed to be buying a sword off this guy. We brought $2 million to do this transaction. He runs to the back of his little fortress. You kill all of his henchmen. Once you make it to him, as seen in this, he entraps you with some sort of magic and you are apparently helpless. Makes you wonder what kind of insane douchebag would let you kill all of his henchmen just when he could have stopped you right from the beginning. He could have humiliated you in front of them. This inhuman character on the left, I've forgotten his name, but I'm not a fan. His story's interesting, but his voice is annoying in my opinion. Doesn't ruin the game. Most cutscenes are skippable. Game runs really nice on the new computer, but originally I had some 2010 era hardware and I was still able to squeeze out 60 frames at native resolution, low settings. Yeah, traditional sword for the scripted sequence, and then immediately back to the Saints Row Penetrator, weapon of choice. Haven't shown you exactly everything from this prologue, but it has been katana only. This is the first time you get a firearm. Cringy Zelda reference. As already mentioned, there are upgrades for all sorts of things, weapons being one of them. So you find money in this game, meaning they've hidden money in this game as you walk around exploring the corners of every map, you're just going to be mashing your E button. And if you happen to be a masochist, it should be noted that there is a heroic mode. You may need to beat the game to unlock it, but there is a mode that reduces the checkpoints, disallows quick saves. All the enemies are much tougher and they deal more damage. At one point during recording, I just stood still and didn't really do anything. And when you speed up the footage, you get a really good sense of how much character sway is happening, even when you're not moving at all. I think the tree sway looks really nice as well. It's been a while since I played through this, but I don't remember there being too much monotony with the enemies. I feel like there's a decent variety. I feel like they're very reasonable. They telegraph their attacks, and there's a lot of tools at your disposal if you actually get good with the dodge and all the various other abilities you gain throughout the game. I wonder if there's some cash hidden down in the corner over here. Also looks like I need to disable the Steam overlay. So within half an hour, you get the ability to just heal yourself if you're safe enough to not take any damage as it's happening. You can and you will be doing this in the middle of a fight. I've got conflicting feelings about this. It's one of the reasons it makes it a modern shooter in my eyes. It's one of the reasons why my skillless self can make it through it, but at the same time, no one's making you use it. You can choose to ignore that. Again, I'm not very fast or good, but my first playthrough took me about 12, 13 hours. This game's fun, and while I'm a cheap ass who got it on sale, I'd say it's more than worth its full asking price, but definitely don't miss it on a sale. If you're slightly on the fence, worth it. Now I'm going to embarrass myself by begging for likes, subscribes, and comments. Oh, God.